Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the FPL Watchlist. Thank you all for joining. It is our final one before Christmas, and FPL has been coming at us thick and fast, and we've got chips active this week on the pod. We will talk about all of that. We'll talk about our scores, a couple of key players, key positions, and our transfers this week. Tom, how are we doing? Stephen, how are we doing? Big
Yeah,
Harry Wilson transfer for you this week.
yeah, massive. Yeah, good week for me. Sounds like Tom could use another round of five free transfers, but I think we're not getting any more of those. But yeah, no, good week for me. I think I finally outscored both of you guys as well. So yeah, happy to see it.
Tom, are you muted?
I've just changed my microphone source. Thank you.
Oh,
It should work. But yeah, if you missed my answer, I'm all good. Basically, was the short,
basically.
long and short of it.
So I'll go first. I got the lowest score, 82. So look at those green arrows across the board for us. Yeah, that's pretty good from the three of us, but I got 82, lowest one. 11 from Foden, Captain Saka, which looked great after his two great assists on Saturday evening. Bruno, 13. Semenyo, my transfer in. Great to see him score. Lucky to see him not get sent off, I think. So I will take the 6 points and just be happy that he's available for Burnley at home. And a double clean sheet wipeout, unfortunately for Arsenal. But as a Chelsea fan, I was celebrating that, and then for them to still win, then felt, why did they have to drop points? Although it then meant that Saka got another assist, so I don't actually know whether it was net positive or not. But 82 for me, just behind Tom.
Yeah, I got 83. I had for the podcast, I had Raya, Anderson, Van Dijk, Timber, Mukiele came in with an assist and a clean sheet. That was probably the biggest impact I had on the weekend from a player. So that was fun. Saka captain, didn't actually outscore Haaland in the end. Bruno did really well again. He's a pretty good FPL asset, I think now. Foden paid off, wasn't too late to Foden, so that was good. Haaland, Thiago, and then Jimenez, who says he's a forward in the FPL game. I'm not convinced he ever got near the goal at any stage of the game, but I only have to look at him for one more week in my team.
At least it's Monday night. It gives you something to look forward to when that game comes
Yeah,
around.
and you know full well that was in my thought process as well.
The Anderson derby on Monday night. I'm all here for it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anderson
yeah.
versus Anderson. People are like, oh, you should bench one of them because I've got better players. And I'm like, no chance. I'm keeping them both for Monday night. Stephen, though, he bought the right Fulham player, unlike Tom.
I
And
bought two
scored.
of them, and none of them didn't.
Sorry, Tom. Yeah, my
Oh,
lookalike Harry Wilson did me a big favor. 85 points overall. Yeah, I had Raya, Timber, Collins, Chow, midfield of Wilson, Foden, Semenyo, and Bruno, and then up top Haaland, who I captained, and Thiago and Voltemada, who was an absolute anti-FPL pick. Not only getting negative points, obviously, for his own goal, but wiping out Malik Chow's clean sheet. And Malik Chow, honestly, he's my differential pick, and he's done absolutely nothing for me since I got him in. He probably would have gotten bonus points and a clean sheet if it wasn't for Voltemada. So a massive swing for me there. But to be fair, great finish from Voltemada. So hopefully he can do it at the other end next game week. And yeah, my bench actually did very well too. I know me and Harry were quite bullish on Brighton scoring against Liverpool, and that obviously didn't turn out to be the case. But I am happy to have Konate on my bench going forward, anyways. But yeah, big week for me. Finally outscored the rest of the lads and edging closer and closer to the top 1 million, but not much to call home about just yet.
honestly, when I saw that Canate had kept a clean sheet, got DEFCON and bonus, I was like, Steven's finally got his points from him. And he bought Harry Wilson. And then I went and checked your team and saw that you benched him, and I was like, oh no.
I didn't even put him first on the bench, so like I wouldn't have got his points
Yeah, you
anyways.
put Josh King, who's done nothing all season, first sub.
That was a mistake. When I realized I did that, I was like, "What have I done?" I was like, "He plays Burnley," but then I was just like, he doesn't even play." So that was a huge mistake. Thankfully, that one I was hoping at that point I didn't have to make a sub, so it didn't come back to bite. But yeah, and I got away with the Haaland captaincy after seeing you guys get your Saka points over the what was it, the day before? So yeah, I was quite chuffed with that.
Yeah, I mean, Saka to get 11 and be my joint third highest scoring player of the week with Bruno and Haaland outscoring him. But yeah, still pretty good. The Voltemato own goal to wipe out Malik Chow's clean sheet.
That was tough. That was tough. But I did actually my four free transfers that I made netted me an extra 25 points. So happy days with that.
Yeah,
Tom, how many did you make?
I'll go back. I did 4. I brought in Anderson of Fulham, Jimenez of Fulham, Saka and Foden for I can't remember who I took out, but yeah, in hindsight, it was some of them didn't really work because I could have just captained Haaland, got Bowen, saved 2 transfers, which would leave me in a much better position this week. But yeah, oh well, can't really complain. So at least Saka did something.
Yeah, I used 2. I sold Enzo in the end, which he almost got DEFCON right at the end. He hit 11, and I was like, well. And then Szoboszlai was the other one I almost bought. But yeah, went for Semenyo in the end. Although it sounds like Szoboszlai might be all right for this weekend. If not, should be back for Wolves at home. There was a report on Twitter just before we went live. So we'll keep an eye on that because I might still buy him in a couple of weeks. But before we move on, Tom, I think you've got another message from the sponsor.
Yeah, so yeah, just like last week, this episode is brought to you by British Army Recruitment, and I'll just chat a little bit about some of the benefits outside of what people may think they know about the Army, and obviously, well, not obviously, but with my background, you know, I've lived kind of inside Army life for the best part of 24 years, sorry, so yeah. I mean, sport and football is at the heart of the Army and what you get to do day to day. Most bases where you get posted reserve Wednesday afternoons just for sport, so you can play whatever sport you like. Over 100 of their sports teams. I'm guessing if you're watching this stream, it will probably be football. So yeah, focusing on that, the Army is FA affiliated, so it has teams competing across the country, and they will fund your professional qualifications to become a coach or referee. So if you want to do your coaching badges, referee badges, the Army is a good place to do that alongside obviously your job. And when I referee around Wiltshire, I often work with plenty of military officials, and they are some of the best in the business. Their communication and teamwork skills are some of the best around. And yeah, if you're good enough, there's semi-professional levels you can compete at. I've visited with my dad who still serves Twickenham, Lords, and he's been to Wimbledon to watch the Army teams and players. So that's a pretty cool opportunity as well. But yeah, beyond the sports pitch, it's the sense of teamwork that connects football and Army life. You know, everyone's got each other's back, working towards a shared goal. That's the same mindset that gets built on the pitch and the Army, and then you end up forming friendships for life. Much of my kind of childhood family friends are all from Army families, and my dad's friends are all people he served with, basically. So yeah, and away from sport, you can travel the world. My dad's been to 5 continents in 30 years through the Army: Kenya, Falkland Islands, Middle East, Cyprus. I've lived in Germany 3 times as well. Interesting fact. But yeah, and then furthermore, the Army is the UK's biggest apprenticeship provider. So you've got sport, you've got academics, you've got a career, all packaged as one there. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, if you're looking at a career, if you're that kind of age, then search Army jobs to find out more.
Amazing. Thanks.
Nice one, Tom.
Right, where are we going first? I just want to answer something in the chat very quickly. Let's talk about Palmer. As 2 Chelsea fans on our resident Chelsea podcast that this basically is every week, Palmer is still nursing his injury. So I would be very cautious of spending all that money on him. Sounds like he still can't play more than 60 minutes when he does start, and he's not going to be playing every week over Christmas. So I'd be really, I wouldn't be cautious buying Palmer. I just wouldn't do it, basically.
Price rise tonight.
Yeah, I mean, be my guest if you want to buy Cole Palmer, but I wouldn't be doing it, and I wouldn't be spending that money on it.
I would agree with that, to be fair.
Yeah. So, defenders. Manchester City were one of the ones we were looking at last week, but away at Palace, we kind of thought best to wait on them. Now, they did ship a lot of XG to Crystal Palace. If you had your O'Reilly points, or you had Nunes, or you had Gvardiol, or any of the others, you'd probably feel quite fortunate, but you're also feeling pretty happy with the upcoming fixtures that they've got, that you're happy that you've got one of them, right? But at the moment, O'Reilly is the most transferred in of the lot, but there are also quite a lot of comments coming on why is no one talking about Nunes at the same price when he also is getting attacking returns. So is O'Reilly the obvious choice that we've got here, Tom?
Just reminding myself how much Nunes costs.
The same 5.3.
Oh, is it 5.3? I thought it was a bit cheaper.
No.
I think I'd probably still go O'Reilly. I think he's been a little bit unlucky with DEFCONs as well recently. I think he's got 8,999 or something.
Yeah.
So he obviously has potential to do that. He is very much nailed. Now that Aït-Nouri's gone to AFCON, I think it'd be pretty unlikely that Nathan Ake would come in for a league game, especially as Pep said he's going to rotate tonight. So I'm guessing O'Reilly won't start later. This week's probably the week to buy him if you want to, with West Ham at home. And we were discussing before we came on that I think he's kind of the player we're all a little bit fearful about not owning. It kind of seems like the obvious banker for a defender. But yeah, I'm just thinking, like, is he a better buy than Chalobah sort of from next week? Probably quite close.
I mean, the attacking data is pretty good. He's at like 0.25 XGI per 90, which is pretty good. And the upcoming fixtures are there. There's no Aït-Nouri, so he feels pretty nailed. His DEFCON's pretty good. I do just think City leak chances, that's always been the thing for City. Is that I expect them to give up a couple of chances pretty much every game. And would I be surprised if West Ham or Bowen get a chance? Would I be surprised away at Forest, away at Sunderland, if there are chances for the opposition in that? No, but over the run, you'd probably expect there to be some points in there. Stephen, what do you think about City defensively?
Yeah, I think over the next 3 game weeks, I'd be surprised if they didn't keep a clean sheet or 2. I do expect them to continue to concede chances, but whether they concede goals from those chances, we'll see. But after those next 3 fixtures, they play Chelsea, Brighton, and Man United, who, 3 of the best attacks in the league. So that is a tough fixture run following those the next 3 fixtures. But I do like O'Reilly over these next 3. And in terms of, O'Reilly versus Nunez, I think they're both pretty nailed on for minutes. Arguably, O'Reilly slightly more so now that, as you mentioned, Aït-Nouri is off to AFCON. But also O'Reilly just has slightly better defensive contributions per 90 data, and I would say significantly better expected goal involvement data per 90. So I do like him as a pick over Nunez. And yeah, I quite like him as a pick over this next 3, but as a long-term pick, I wouldn't be so sure.
Interesting.
They've got
anyone
the exact
else?
same number of points this year.
Who, O'Reilly and Nunes?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do think Nunes is being a little bit forgotten, but O'Reilly's expected output is better, even though the actual output hasn't been much different.
Yeah, they've started the same number of games as well.
I mean, Nunes looks like a great differential because everyone's going O'Reilly, right? If you're buying a City defender, is there any reason to buy Gvardiol? Like, his goal threat is going up recently, he's maybe slightly more nailed long term, but just feels unnecessary to spend the money.
Why is it going up? Is that just because a few corners have landed on his head, or it's obviously he's still playing centre back?
Yeah, true. I suppose.
Yeah, I think he's more expensive,
5'9",
and he's getting less defensive contributions per 90 as well, which, to be honest, at this stage, it's almost all I look at for when I'm buying defenders. I don't know about you guys. Is it the first thing you look at before you start looking at the expected goal involvement?
I mean, I'd probably look at DEFCON first, unless it's really obvious that they're very good going forward. But clean sheets are still
Yeah,
the
sorry,
main
of
thing.
course. Yeah.
And I suppose the people are looking like there is a bit of frustration coming with the Arsenal defence, right? Everton away this week, then it's Villa and Brighton at home in the two after that. Outside of City, where have you looked at making defensive transfers at all over the next couple of weeks? I'm very big on Everton from next week, right? Burnley away next week starts a pretty good long-term run, but it's Arsenal this week. And someone like a Tarkowski, a very similar price to O'Reilly. Tarkowski's better for DEFCON. O'Reilly's better for attacking threats, right? Long term, who would you rather have, O'Reilly or a Tarkowski? And I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Tom, but I would say probably Tarkowski, just in terms of what we were saying. Like, I'd go for the DEFCONs. I'd look at DEFCONs before I look at expected goal involvement. I do think over the season, I mean, is Everton as good as defense as Man City? I just feel like Man City are very leaky, but not that Everton have been an absolute powerhouse this season at the back either. But maybe you'd argue Tarkowski's points are just slightly more consistent. But yeah, in terms of who I would go for, I do think O'Reilly's a good pick. After this game week, Everton defenders just seem like the clear option. And Michael Keane is definitely one to consider as well at his price.
Yeah, Branthwaite, I mean, somewhere in training apparently, but exactly when he'll be back, yeah, we don't
He's
know.
not into any team training.
No.
I mean, I would pick O'Reilly over Tarkowski for me. Cheaper. I think he's a bit more entertaining to own as well, to be honest. It's not
All about the points though, Tom.
Yeah, it is, but also, like, O'Reilly is... He plays for Man City, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I would just pick Keane over Tarkowski as well. Like, I know you're talking about Branthwaite, and obviously, you know, if we were to get concrete news, that could change, but, you know, they're playing Wolves at home. You still get Burnley, Forest, Brentford, Wolves all before the 7th of January, so he's not going to be back in 2 weeks. And then it gets towards Villa, Leeds and Brighton when I guess he could come back, but again, he's had 2 hamstring surgeries.
Yeah.
I suspect he'll be on the bench maybe a couple of games at first. So yeah, I'd still buy Keane over Tarkowski, to be honest. Keane loves a bullet header as well.
But you'd go O'Reilly over an Everton defender.
I mean, it's hard to say what you'd do with the 0.8, but if it was just that, then yeah, I'd go O'Reilly, I think.
Mm-hmm. You've also mentioned the second highest scoring defender in the game. We should also probably talk about the highest scoring defender in the game, which is Margay, if you need a defender. Palace going away to Leeds this week. Glasner has said he will make 11 changes from the game on Thursday night to the game against Leeds. So if your FPL player starts on Thursday night, you may as well bench them, is basically what Glasner has said in his press conference. So keep an eye on that Palace lineup on Thursday evening, because I'm not sure it'll be... I wonder if there'll be 1 or 2 first-team players playing on Thursday, because they need to win. Like, they can't lose these games. They haven't won enough in Europe. So we'll see what happens. But Tom, talk to us on Chalobah first.
Sorry, just on Gahey, I did see earlier, so this Palace journalist had put together, because they've called, I think, 6 youngsters up to training, because obviously they don't really have a massive squad. So if you want to use 22 players, they'd have to use some kids, but...
Yeah.
And the 3 centre-backs was Camvo, and then 2 kids. So, and a few of the comments were saying, like, he could play Gahey and Lacroix 45 minutes each. Because centre-back looked like the one position that is pure kids. So, I guess he has said he'll change it all, but if he was going to lose one player, it would probably be centre-back, because that's the only position he's got his full strength fit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they're 9th in their European table, right? And if they lose this, because he makes 11 changes, they're not going to get top 8, which is just an even bigger nightmare for them further down the line when they've got to play Europa League Conference round of 32 fixtures, which is definitely not what they want. So, I mean, we're speaking in you know, let's if buts and maybes, but keep an eye on that Palace team, because I wouldn't be surprised if it's... I don't think it will be 100... I don't think it'll be 11 full first-team players against Leeds and 0 against in Europe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 9 first team against Leeds and 2 against, and at least there's something. I'm not saying it's going to be one of the defenders, but he also said that players will play in both, but they probably won't play 90 in both. So it could be subs, as Tom said.
Someone like Lacroix, he's obviously could maybe do half time or something, because he obviously the centre backs use less energy. But yeah, on Chalobah, he just keeps getting points, and none of us three have ever really considered buying him.
Well, that's not true, because last week when we were looking at players for my, I was replacing who I can't remember who I got out of my team, but we did mention Chalobah very briefly, and I guess we mentioned him, but maybe I didn't consider him heavily enough. I really should have, because he outscored all the other options that I discussed.
Yeah, he's like the perfect storm of DEFCON, clean sheets, goal threat.
Yeah.
5.5 now though, and his centre back partner Wesley Fofana is 4.4. And I was working this out the other day, as you do, obviously, looking at all the minutes played and everything. And so Fofana's minutes, he has started to play 2 games in 4 days and then missed the third. So he's done that on 2. He's done that on 3. He's done that once. He played Barcelona and Arsenal weekend, midweek, and then missed out at the weekend. Last week before Cardiff, he played 90. Then he came on for 30 against Atalanta, but it would have been 45 if he didn't get poked in the eye and then have to go off again. Mm-hmm. So I think Maresca can. I mean, he would have played 45. So last week would have been his busiest week in a while, and he would have done 90, 45, and 90. So if you apply that to our fixtures going forward,
I mean, the next 4 are not great.
Villa and Bournemouth at home. I mean, we're the second best defence in the league.
So are you suggesting that he is going to get rested after all those minutes, or that he's nailed on after playing?
Well, he
rested
so many midweek, so he'll start this weekend without a doubt.
Yeah,
although you probably wouldn't want him though. Must be said.
Who do we have after Bournemouth at home? City away.
Yes, but that's Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. So I think basically, long story short, I think he will play 5.
But his DEFCON's not as good.
He's got at least 13 in his last 3 games.
Okay,
he's pretty good.
Oh, fine.
Got 20 against Everton.
So if you need a cheaper option, it could be worth the risk. But again, like next week, you buying Fofana, or you buying Michael Keane?
It is Fofana, but I'm just saying, if you don't want to spend the money on Chalobah, like, I can see him getting benched once over Christmas based off our fixtures. Yeah. Basically, I think he'll start 7 of the next 8. Essentially,
I didn't realize he was that cheap as well. Like 4.4 mil into that Chelsea defense. If I was wildcarding, I'd definitely try to fit him in.
Have you seen, Harry? We have a run of West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley in a row.
I can't wait to see how that goes wrong.
But when we're in the Carabao Cup final, one of those will be moved. So, I think.
Right, so back on defenders. Chalobah, we don't mind. Palace, if they don't start on Thursday, I still think Gay's a good buy. Like, I still think they're not going to be quite as good. They've got so many matches, but if they do full strength rotate on Thursday, then it's basically like having a week off for most of them. And he continues to score. I just can't get away from the fact that he is their main goal threat from corners. It's just who they target. It's not a luck thing anymore. He's the one they're targeting, just like Arsenal target Gabriel. Like, it's the same thing. So I don't think we can just say, like, I've seen people say, Gay's been lucky, we should buy Lacroix or Richards now. I think complete opposite. If I was buying a Palace defender new, I'd buy Mark Gay because he's the one they're targeting from corners. I mean, Richards is fine for his price, but I wouldn't buy Lacroix.
Yeah, it's Guehi or Richards, I would say. Yeah.
I think with Gay, the luck thing is his assists. He's got 4 assists from an XG of 1, an XA of 1, and he's got 2 goals from an XG of 1.3.
Being fouled in the box for a penalty doesn't go down as any XA, I don't think. So I think that's happened twice.
He has got rugby tackle twice.
Yeah.
Klein is 3.8 million.
He's not going to play every game. He's definitely not going to play every game over Christmas. He's literally said he can't do it. Campo will start out there. It makes Richards more nailed.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Although Richards did play those 3 Premier League ones, so Yeah. So top three defenders, I probably would go O'Reilly first. I would say option B, wait and buy an Everton defender next week. And third choice, I mean, if you don't have triple Arsenal, I like Calafiori at 5.7, or I would probably buy maybe Chalobah if you've got the money.
I would go Chalobah, yeah. I think like it's no fluke. He's getting so many points. I think we maybe need to start taking Chelsea defense a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. Cool. Into midfield.
Somebody that you bought this week.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, Harry. Obviously, it turned out to be a great transfer.
Yeah, it was basically I mean, I could have gone Harry Wilson and I could potentially should have just taken the money and gone Harry Wilson, but I didn't expect Harry Wilson to score a 16-pointer. I like the Burnley at home fixture this week, and I don't think United defensively are very good. So I think all of those things, I'm pretty happy with the decision I made. And it was either going to be, I wasn't going to go Harry Wilson in the end. It was either going to be Szoboszlai or it was going to be Semenyo. And I feel pretty happy with it. It was mainly the 4 yellows that I just decided not to buy Szoboszlai, because that Christmas off, missing Wolves at home, is just too much of a risk for me to have bought Szoboszlai. So I went with Semenyo. The data's okay. Bournemouth have not been great, but the data's still been all right. And I like the next couple of fixtures, whether you just held them for United or Burnley, whether you keep them for Brentford. I don't mind it as a short-term punt, but it is very luxury. That is the thing I would add. I'm seeing people buying Semenyo for 1 week to take him out again, and I don't think I'd do that.
You're looking at me.
Yeah, well, potentially. Yeah, 5.3 for Semenyo is a pretty good price.
Right. Yeah.
If he was 5.3, he'd be more transferred in than Harry Wilson, who's had even almost a million transfers in. But yeah, again, I like Semenyo as a pick, but I just think there's probably other things that you could also do with those transfers.
He's on 4
you
yellows
want to buy him
now
this
as
week.
well, we should say.
Yeah, 4 yellows, he'll get Christmas off.
Is this the week to have? Yeah, this is the week to have Christmas off, isn't it?
I'm just going to say, I feel like he was quite lucky that he doesn't already have Christmas off.
I didn't watch the game. I can't comment.
He could have had a red
for
card.
a second yellow, was it? Or
No, is the one he got the yellow for.
was it a
where
bad
he
tackle,
grabbed
was it?
Dallo by the throat, and the freeze frame is incredibly damning. Like it's
The
literally
freeze
just him
frame
strangling
is not good. I even tweeted after it happened, do they still give retrospective bans for this sort of thing? And luckily the comments told me no.
it is something to consider. Maybe you were just rage baiting with that, Harry, but no, I think Casemiro
I was genuinely
got done in.
worried. Yeah.
Casemiro did get done in for something very similar. It was the briefest of neck holds, you could say, but yeah, the freeze frame. If that went to VAR, he'd be banned and probably have a 3-match ban.
Yeah. But anyway, outside of that, the other midfielders people are looking at, I think, like Bruno and Foden, if you don't own these two, they should be a priority over everyone else, right? And I think you can try and stretch to Semenyo for a few weeks, or Harry Wilson, or whatever it is, or Cunha, but Foden and Bruno should be in every team now, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, we're not prioritizing any of these players over them. So if you're listening or watching and you don't own Bruno or you don't own Foden and you can buy them, they are the priority. But outside of that, if you're looking for another midfielder, you've got Cunha becoming popular. Very good the past couple of games, a lot of chances. Semenyo, Harry Wilson are probably the top 3. Is there anyone else that you'd add to that mix, or are those the 3 we want to talk about?
Cunha is the one I'm happy you mentioned, because if you didn't mention him, I was going to throw him in. Yeah, he's playing up top. With Mbumo out, we'll see how that affects Cunha, whether it's positive or negative. Time will tell. But yeah, I think Cunha is probably near the top of that list. If you already have Bruno and Foden, I really like Cunha as a pick.
we were speaking about this beforehand. I do want to add a little word of caution on Cunha. Now, the next 5 are pretty good. The next 2, Villa and Newcastle, are not perfect, but after that, they've got 3 great games, right? I think it's Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, or something like that. So they look great. But no Mbermo, no Ahmad, right? So naturally, the team is going to be a bit worse They're not going to be quite as good without those two. And Sesko is also back. So I would expect to try and make this all work, he's going to put Sesko back up front and Cunha's going to go to the 10, potentially Mount in the other 10. Now, there's been lots of this talk that he might look to change and play a back four over the next couple of games while he's out, or while the guys are AFCON. But that still doesn't have Cunha up front. So he's been great the past couple of games, and I think he's a good pick going forward. But I do add a little bit of caution that I expect United to look a little bit different. And like going away to Villa this week with no Mazraoui, no Ahmad, no Mbermo, and no Casemiro because he's suspended, I'd rather do something first and then buy Cunha in a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, I mean, something first could be Semenyo, to be fair. It does work well. You get Burnley, Brentford, and then you move to Cunha for Wolves at home.
Do you think my concerns on Cunha are fair or overblown?
I would say they're fair. I mean, it's very difficult to think. All this reports around Amarin going for a 4-3-3. It's like, where does Cunha fit into that? Because Cunha's played with a back three in that 10 role for the past however many years at Wolves, and now he perfectly fit into Amarim's system. Probably a big reason why he joined Man United, not to mention, the salary and all that, but he fit the system very well. And you'd imagine, I'm just wondering where he fits. Is he a left winger? It's either he plays left wing or in that centre mid role, but I just don't see him playing centre mid, and I can't imagine he's got the pace to play on the wing as well. So it will be interesting to see where he plays, and maybe he just stays up top. But then with Sesko back, we saw him come on and get some minutes, and I think Amarim's going to want to continue giving Sesko minutes. So I think you're well within your right to doubt Cunha as a pick with all this uncertainty.
Looking at his data, the last 3 games he's played up front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's half of his XGI.
Of the season is in the last 3.
Yeah, so his XGI for the season is 5, and 2.5 of that is in the last 3 games, and he started 11. So the numbers would back up Harry's theory. But the flip side is they're playing Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley. So how much data he actually needs to deliver against them is a different question. But
yeah, fair. The other one is Harry Wilson, right? How long can he keep doing it for?
Ask him.
Stephen, talk to us. How long can Harry Wilson keep doing it for?
I'm right here. I think with Harry Wilson, we've seen that he does love a good purple patch. And when he's on that purple patch, I feel like the game that he stopped scoring, it's done. Like he's not coming back from that. It's hard to say, but obviously over these next 2 fixtures, great pick. But I think has everyone missed the boat if they haven't got him yet? I don't know. I could see him getting at least another goal contribution over the next 2 fixtures. But after that, I would expect it to dry up slightly over the Christmas period. What do you guys think? Is he done scoring?
It's painful as a non-owner to answer that because I feel like the boat for us to buy him has passed, but wouldn't be surprised if he keeps punishing my rank, and they've got a couple of players going to AFCON, which will impact Fulham as a team in general. The issue is if you're not going for him, is who do you buy at that price? I just don't see any alternatives. I'm sat here with Anderson, and it's not very fun,
isn't it?
Counting DEFCON when it's just Sangare getting.
He hasn't even got any in the last.
He got them last week.
Yeah, he's
had it 1 in 3 games.
5 and 8, 2 of the last games.
And Sangare next to him banging goals in.
Yeah.
Although Sangare's now off to AFCON, so I might get DEFCON from Anderson once again.
People saying Tavernier in the chat. It's 5.5.
Is a nice short-term pick. Again, it's short-term though, because you're not going to want him for Chelsea away, Arsenal at home.
How many free kicks is he going to score, realistically?
I mean, how much DEFCON is Anderson going to get?
To be fair to Tavernier, he has actually got 6 attacking returns from the best part of 6 XGI. So he is kind of ticking
Yeah.
over.
Very efficient.
Yeah, very efficient.
Yeah.
Dewsbury
But yeah,
Hall is
it's the
obviously injured.
yeah
That's an unfortunate one.
that's an issue that for me.
Casemiro suspended.
How much is Casemiro?
5.
Can I buy him?
5-5.
Maybe I'll buy him instead of Cunha.
I think to answer the question, I feel like if you have someone like Dewsbury Hall or Casemiro for whatever reason, and you can upgrade, then I think Wilson is fine to go for. I think if you have that luxury transfer, like I don't mind it as a very short term punt. But if you do want to play the long term game, then I was about to say Elliot Anderson, but no, I think if I'm going for a DEFCON player right now, even though he is on 4 yellow cards, I do think Vifer at Brighton is the one to go for.
Yeah, I like that a lot. He looks good. He looks like he's getting in attacking positions as well. His DEFCON's pretty good.
His DEFCON's amazing. He's hit DEFCON in, I believe, 8 of the past 9 games.
I'll buy him and I'll break him.
Yeah, don't do that, Harry.
Oh, Anderson to Vifor, what a transfer that is. I'm just
exciting.
chasing DEFCON every week.
The best, like I think Wilson probably is. So at 5, 6 and under, you've got Dewsbury Hall who's injured, Tavernier who's a bit short term, Gravenberg, Xhaka, Cullen, Casemiro, Anderson, Stack, Caicedo is 0.1 more expensive.
How much is Caicedo down to?
5-7 now.
Oh, it's not low
Still
enough.
a lot.
So what do you guys think? Any of those names are better than Wilson if you're buying a cheap midfielder?
No. I think if Dewsbury Hall was fit and available, I'd say I'd prefer Dewsbury Hall to Wilson now. But he's not, so.
Yeah, with those fixtures, I would say the same.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back next game week. We'll see. Do we know how long he's out for?
No, apparently he's having a scan this week.
So he did have tightness before the game. So it is possible that he just thought, this doesn't feel right. I can't do it. Or it's also possible that he made it worse during the game. So we'll have to wait and see. Enzo Lafie, 4.9 on pens.
He's one to consider. Like, I wouldn't go for him personally, but I do think he's worth a shout at least.
He's probably got the best fixtures if you need like over the next 8, because he's got Burnley, West Ham, Brentford, Leeds in the next 8.
Someone said Alcaraz at Everton, if Dewsbury Hall's injured.
He might play regardless, to be fair.
He's only 5'2".
If at 5'2", I'm just going Vifer for 0.3 less.
How much is Vifer?
4.9.
4.9.
Yeah.
No DEFCONs in the last 2 starts. Rubbish. When he gets it, he gets
he
like
hit 11
20.
last week.
Yeah, he gets like
I know,
25.
he hit 25 away at Forest. Yeah. Yeah. So Wilson if you need a cheap one. But the question is, would you buy Semenyo over Wilson?
I probably would, just because you can move Semenyo to Cunha, to Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
It's more of a movable position. Whereas with Wilson, in 2 weeks, you've got bad fixtures and not really anywhere to go. But obviously, if that can get you Jimenez to Bowen, then maybe you go for the cheap version. If the money's worth it, but.
Oh yeah, you were going to go for Bowen. That was your dilemma, wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you want to go into it, it's basically because Saka got benched. If Saka had started the Champions League game, I wouldn't have gone anywhere near him. And would have probably just bought Bowen.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Cool. Up front then. Final one. I mean, there's a Liverpool striker who's going to play minutes and score goals like he is. It's difficult to get to him, but anyone who can, Ekitike looks like a great buy at the moment, doesn't he? He looks like their main goal threat and goal output. Yeah. Any love for Ekitike? It just feels like I can't get to him, so I'm just going to have to not buy him.
Yeah, I love him as a pick. I was looking for ways to get to him. I have Voltemada in my team, who it was a terrible pick, and I just want him out, even though he plays Burnley in 2-3 game weeks. But yeah, even then I can't get up to Ekitike. I think like you said, you know, how much is Ekitike now? 8.5?
6 now.
8.6 for, you know, what we believe to be a starting striker for a Liverpool team, and he looks in great form. I don't see him getting benched too much for Isak based off how Isak's been playing and his fitness as well. I mean, it's hard to turn down something like that, but in terms of squad structure, it is difficult for a lot of people.
Like if I'm owning, I mean, I've got Saka, Foden, and Bruno, and if I've got those three plus Haaland, I just can't get there.
Yeah. A lot
I
of
find it really difficult.
people are starting to invest in midfielders now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see like Bruno, Foden, Saka, and maybe throw in Palmer as well at some stage. So yeah, the forward line money is starting to come out of it.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to sell Timber and Semenyo in order to get there. And I mean, those Wolves at home, Leeds at home fixtures are really tempting. I'd be interested to know if anyone in the chat is wanting. I mean, a lot of us will want him, but if anyone actually considering going there, yeah, I'm not so certain. But if you can, I think the answer is if you can, I would do it. But I don't think many people will be in that position.
You think it's worth two free transfers?
Well, I might be using two next week to buy a forward at a slightly cheaper price. I mean, I
A
don't
forward.
think you need it this week. Jared Bowen, probably, for their fixtures. But his data is really good, Ekitike, and he does feel like the one person in that team who wants to be scoring goals, really.
Do you think he starts Leeds and Wolves?
Probably.
I mean, what would have to happen for him not to start? It would have to be Gakpo fit,
Yeah.
Isak up
Isak
top,
fit.
and then Frimpong on the right, who is back in training this week.
Okay, interesting. And then Vert's in the 10, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, also was like, but yeah.
But they've got a week off between Spurs and Wolves, right?
Yes.
And then just quick turnaround for the three after that. So maybe he doesn't start all of those Wolves, Leeds, Fulham games, but
Yeah, because then it's Arsenal on the Thursday.
There's always the risk with a Liverpool attacker at this stage, I feel.
It's tempting. To be honest, I haven't really tried to see how it would work, but kind of got laser focused on Bowen. It's only $1 million more.
I mean, Timber to Calafiori is something I've spoken about before we came live. If you need money, Timber out, Calafiori frees up 0.7, gets you a little bit closer to it. But yeah, I mean, there's a slight risk of minutes, but even when he's playing, there's a little bit of disagreement in the chat about it. No way he doesn't start, but he might come off around 60. No chance of that. Oh, Ekitike is nailed as Saka. And then some people saying there's too many fixtures. So,
Saka nailed over Christmas? Not sure about that.
well, when he's the one bailing them out against Wolves, then he's going to have to play.
Yeah, Madueke was warming up there, giving FPL managers a heart attack, but didn't come on.
No. So yeah, I think if you can afford Ekitike, I would buy him. But just be conscious of what it means for the rest of your squad structure. The one that I'm looking at, and I know Tom, you are as well, is Jared Bowen. We know what he did at the end of last season. His points returns were very good when he hit that run of form for like the last 5-10 game weeks where everyone decided to own him at some point. He was very good. The upcoming fixtures for West Ham from 18 look very nice. He's cheaper than Ekitike. Only issue is he's lost pens with Paqueta being back in the team, which is a bit of a impacting factor on him. Stephen, what do you think on Bowen? His data's really bad. That's the only thing. And he plays for West Ham.
Yeah, these are 2 points like that I consider heavily. I feel like he's not got pens. He plays for West Ham. His data isn't that good. He plays Man City this weekend, which I actually don't mind at all. I actually think that's fine. Like Man City can concede goals, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Jared Bowen score one of them. But yeah, I do feel like at this stage, I'm like, I don't want any forwards in my team other than Haaland. I just want to play 5-4-1 or something like.
What's happened to Thiago? Why isn't he getting his pens
No
every week now?
shots against Leeds.
Yeah, what? Since I bought him, he's done absolutely nothing. So that's probably it.
6
There's
prize rises since he last scored a goal.
Crazy.
There's someone out there who would have gone Watkins at the start of the season when he blanked, eventually sold him to João Pedro for then him to blank, who then sold him to Mateta after Mateta scored that huge point just for him to blank, and has now bought Thiago. I feel like I'm pretty close to that, to be honest.
No, honestly, I feel like there was a point in the season, like very late, where like none of my forwards had scored yet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just Haaland. Apart from Haaland, they're all. Is there anyone else that you would consider as a third forward? And this is my issue with going Bowen or Ekitike is if it doesn't work, it's then two transfers. So it's two transfers to get there for most of us, and then there's two transfers to get off it as well.
I mean, there's one forward in the league who scored 4 goals in 4 games. Double
Who's
barrel
that?
surname, Mr. Calvert-Lewin. But it's
Well
Palace.
taken header by him.
Yeah, he's
against
in
Brentford.
good form, you know. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's got good XGI numbers as well. But it's probably not worth that.
It's a no from me.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, like I mean, the top scoring forwards: Haaland, Thiago, Bowen, Ekitike, João Pedro, Mateta, Richarlison, Welbeck, Calvert-Lewin.
Danny Welbeck, he plays Sunderland, West Ham, and Burnley in 3 of the next 4.
And
Worth a
doesn't
little
start
shout.
half the
Yeah,
games, it seems.
he's been benched in 2 of the last 3.
This is
Have you
true.
seen
he
this,
He only got like 8 minutes last game.
Have you seen the bib theory on Brighton?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I've seen that going
The-
around. Yeah.
It's like FPL Seagull, one of the Brighton accounts who does the Planet FPL stuff, has got the team sheet right like all of the last 4 weeks because they put out photos of their team in training and the ones in bibs are the ones who start or don't start basically, and it's been right every week.
That's very good intel.
But now they know that we know, so you watch. Welbeck will be in a bib and then he won't start. But I just find all of them. I just don't think any of them are better than a player at the same price in midfield.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if your forward 3 is... I mean, there's probably 4, right, to choose from: Ekitike, Bowen, Thiago, Haaland. I mean, Mateta, like, he does play Leeds, Tottenham and Fulham.
I'm
He
not
does.
buying Mateta.
No.
I'm not going
minutes.
to. Seeing him be subbed off after 62 minutes and him finally not being in my team brought me such joy at the weekend. Until I see him play 90 minutes, I'm not going anywhere near him.
Yeah, I'm happy to be rid of him as well.
It was so. Palace sub 62 minutes. I know who that will be. Yep, Mateta off with another blank. Thank you very much. And then I was like, I'll have Thiago at home to Leeds. Great, brilliant. He did loads.
But going back to what you said, Harry, I think it's a great point. Like, at the price of the forwards that we've mentioned, the value that you get from midfielders right now, I think, is definitely there in comparison. Or even from defenders, definitely from defenders.
Yeah. Right, let's wrap up and look at our teams. I can go first. Mine's a bit boring this week, unfortunately, as I don't have the money to do Anderson to anyone. So I'm going to keep him for Monday night, Elliott Anderson versus Anderson Derby. Hopefully Sky Sports do a big build up to the game with the two of them being the main focus, because I think that's what everyone tuning in on Monday night a few days before Christmas is going to be waiting for. Absolutely. I
Double
will be,
Defcons.
definitely.
You'll go mental. Double Defcons.
Honestly. 0-0, double Defcons, and Anderson to get bonus in a 0-0 draw. Honestly, it'll be the highlight of my year. David Raya in goal. We've got Anderson, Van Dijk, Timber, Foden, Semenyo, Bruno, Saka, Anderson, Thiago, and Haaland. Haaland currently with the triple captaincy at home to West Ham. I think it's the best opportunity left. The only other one I look at is Bruno at home to Wolves in 19, but I'm not going to save it for that. I'm going to roll my transfer, have 5 next week, and just have to decide on which defender I want to bench. And I'm going to keep an eye on the Palace lineup on Thursday before I make that decision.
Yeah,
That is an
benching Richards
interesting
against
defense,
Leeds
yeah.
is a tough one. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like where you put him into this team. Like,
I'd probably
It's-
play him over Anderson. Sorry to
I was gonna
say.
say,
I'm not doing that.
Wait,
That's the
which one am I
only one
talking
I would
about? That's the
consider.
question.
Right. So just presume that both Andersons are starting because they play on Monday night in the Anderson Derby. Outside of those two,
Well, then, yeah, you're not going to bench him.
would you bench Van Dijk?
No.
no chance. No.
Spurs are
Against
rubbish.
Spurs are 4th lowest for XG this season.
I know. I feel I'm leaving my man Chris Richards on the bench, and it doesn't feel good. I
That
can
is
just see
tough.
that Mark Gay 90th minute goal again, and it's going to ruin my weekend.
If Glasner properly properly rotates on Thursday and there's no big guns involved, I'd play Richards over Elliot Anderson.
Over Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted by that too. I don't think I'd bench. I think the only player I'd bench is Elliot Anderson.
I think they'll both get DEFCONs. Well, actually, we don't really know that because you've broken Elliot. But Chris Richards, like the way that Leeds play, obviously with Calvert-Lewin, there's lots of crosses, and
Yeah, I feel like Richards is destined to get DEFCON.
so he's on 4, and then
Yeah.
he's obviously got an easier route to 8 than Anderson does. So
Joaquin Anderson playing a Forest team who just scored 3, albeit against Spurs.
I mean,
But
yeah, Fulham never keep clean sheets. That is another thing, but
his DEFCONs are good, so
Yeah.
I see why he's in there. But yeah, it's one of those. It's those 3 players you have to consider.
I'd be pretty
the 2
tempted to play him
Andersons.
over both Andersons, to be honest. I mean, the Palace defense is a lot better than Fulham's defense.
No, but you're not listening. I'm playing the Andersons.
We're not listening that Harry has no plans on Monday night apart from watching Fulham Forest on
I am
Christmas
at the
week.
sofa watching all the coverage.
A
and I am
blockbuster game.
blockbuster game that is on Monday night. Anderson against Anderson. I bought them just purely for this match, so there's no way I'm benching them. I mean, I might, but at the moment, Richards is on the bench.
Yeah, fair. So
I think
you're
I'd be more
rolling
tempted
then.
to bench Van Dijk.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No, I'd definitely be playing Van Dijk. I just have no trust in that Spurs attack. Not. This isn't me backing Liverpool defense by any means. I just think Spurs attack is quite poor.
Van Dijk's
mean, if
also the
Spur-
biggest goal threat of all 4 of those players.
Disrespect, but yeah, that's probably right. Right, that's my team. I'm rolling.
So you're
and I'm
rolling to
triple captain
5.
active.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
Well
nice
done.
one.
Yeah, roll back to 5. Isn't that what everyone's doing?
Not jealous at all.
And then I'm going to blow them all buying Jared Bowen next week.
Stephen, you're up also on the triple.
Yes, on the triple captain for the podcast, I've got double Arsenal defense with Raya and Timber, Collins and Konate either side, and then midfield 4 of Wilson, Foden, Semenyo with the vice captain, and Bruno Fernandes, and then a front 3 of Haaland, Thiago, Voltemada, Malik Chow currently on the bench, followed by Alderete, King, and of course Dubravka as well. Yeah, I mean, this team is very rollable. The one that I'm not happy about at all is Voltemada. Against Chelsea at home, I don't mind it particularly, but the only thing I'm considering with this team, and it seems like an unnecessary transfer, especially when I've only got 2, which feels like any other week feels like, I've got 2 free transfers. That's amazing. But considering, Harry's rolling on to 5, I'm like, I should be rolling this. But I am heavily considering getting rid of Josh King, and I can go to Viper, which would mean I would probably end up benching Voltemada. And I just don't think that's worth it whatsoever. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that move. Viper against Sunderland at home, and then he has, I think, Arsenal, and then he plays West Ham and then Burnley. So I do really like him as a pick in general. I'm just not sure it's worth getting him into my team to bench Voltemada. I don't think that's worth the move.
No, I would do Voltemada to Bowen next week, for sure. And then probably keep him this week, because you expect a reaction, even though it's against our team.
Yeah, Chelsea defense is so solid though. I am tempted to just, I could bench him. This is the thing. I could also just do King to Viper this week, bench Voltemada, and then get Bowen next week. So I'd be like, I wouldn't have Voltemada this week.
O'Reilly.
I don't think I'm going to get rid of Chow, because I do actually quite like the look of Newcastle defense, but also their fixtures as well. So I don't mind having him, but yeah, I could get rid of Chow. I
I'd be
think he's the only
seriously tempted
defender.
to get O'Reilly, to be fair.
Yeah, fair. And then would you then bench Voltemada? Is that are we all in agreement that Voltemada could be benched this week?
I mean, do you think we're going to beat Newcastle away, Harry? I don't.
No, but I would rather O'Reilly than Voltemada, I think, this week.
Yeah, but maybe you bench like I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just feel like getting rid of Josh King as well solves a lot of issues in my team in terms of my bench.
Until you buy him back. You do like some roulette of the Fulham midfielders.
Yeah. Get him out for a Wobie once he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this
Um,
team, I could just roll it. Maybe I'm overthinking it a bit, and as FPL managers, we tend to do this. Guaranteed I'd do something, bench Voltemada, and then he scores against Chelsea. So, yeah, I am heavily tempted to make a move, but probably roll this team.
what's your plan with Voltemada?
Um, I, I'm quite reluctant to sell because he's not scored in my team yet, and I'm like, after Chelsea, he plays Man United, Burnley, which I like both of those fixtures. He plays Crystal Palace then, but then it's Leeds. So Man United, Burnley, Leeds in three of the next five. I don't mind that whatsoever. I feel like it's maybe, there are better forwards to go for, but I'm not so sure about Bowen myself, and I don't think it's probably worth the transfer for me. I could also do a double move and get Ekitike in. There's a lot of tinkering I can do with this team, but with two free transfers, I'm just not so sure it's worth the chasing all these points.
How short are you of Voltemada to Ekitike?
So I can do, I believe I'm point 0.4 short. Let me just confirm that. Um, point 0.5 short. So I could get rid of Malik Chow and go to Fofana.
Chris Richards,
How much is Richards again?
still 4-5, I think.
He's
I
four
think
six. So I'd be
Has he
point
gone
0.2
up?
short of that.
Oh, damn
Oh,
it.
you
Yeah.
have to need a 4-4. Yeah. How much is Van Heck?
4-5.
4-5 now. Yeah.
So
I think the
yeah,
only way if you wanted to go Ekitike, I'd sell Timber.
to Calafiori.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I'm just
Raya
not
to
sure
Pickford,
that
maybe.
is that
Yeah, I'm
worth the
not
two
sure,
free
but that's only
transfers.
point two, and then you'd have to do Chow to Michael Keane, Voltemada to Ekitike, and Raya to Pickford.
It's just a
I
lot of
think
transfers, and I'm not
I
sure
wouldn't do it
how
this week.
how
Yeah,
much it upgrades my team. I feel like I'm overthinking it. I'm just gonna roll
yeah,
the transfer, lads.
I think I probably would. The only thing I would consider is Chow to O'Reilly,
Yeah, fair, fair.
but
Yeah, if I had an
I'd
easy
probably.
route to O'Reilly, I would 100% do it this week.
But there's also a
Fair.
benefit to rolling. Like if this was my team, I'd be honest, I'd probably roll.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
got
don't mind
Tom,
rolling
you got
this.
Tom who's buying Semenyo this week, and you got me rolling, and there's your two bits of advice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that is. Oh, Tom, we haven't done your team yet.
No,
Yeah.
unfortunately not. Yeah. So we can see Minte on the screen. They're just stinking the place out. But yeah,
It's got
uh,
good fixtures though.
but it doesn't matter. Have you seen like as and I know we always shout out Planet FPL, but like as James was saying, he does better in the harder games when he actually has space and like hit them on the break. But
See, I'm hating life with Anderson. At least it's not 6 million on Minter.
yeah, who's dropped twice in 4 days?
Anderson's risen since I bought him.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, so for the podcast, I've currently got Raya, Van Dijk, Timber, Joachim Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, Minte, Saka, Foden, Jimenez, Thiago, and Haaland. Just normal captain, unfortunately, with Mukiele, Keane, and Potts on the bench. 2 free transfers, nothing in the bank. I mean, I guess, Harry, you'd look at this team and say I should roll 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is kind of, I guess, where we differ, like, play styles. But I'd always planned to sell Saka this week to get Semenyo, because then next week I have money to do Bowen and Rice for Minte and Jimenez.
Saka out. I mean, if that's your plan anyway, then fine. But I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just like,
Hasn't Rice had like 6 shots in the box this whole season?
yeah, but I mean, but he gets points in a variety of ways, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Not recently.
I mean, it's not awful, is it? 6, 3, 4, 6, 2, 13.
Yeah, I mean the 13 was in game week 10. So, I mean, if you want to buy a player because of the points, 2, 6, 4, 3, 6, 2. I mean,
You just left out his haul.
Yeah, I'm not. Game week 10's too long ago, but the 2 points we got after that
But
is
he's
perfectly
like
within
the
reason.
second highest scoring mid, isn't he? I mean,
I think that says more about the state of the mids than
Probably.
Rice.
but
Probably.
then it's Semenyo for Burnley at home, which is like the best.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm not sure
But
I'd
then
be doing
it's
Saka
like
to...
if I don't get Saka, so if I don't sell Saka this week, I'm probably not going to sell him next week before Brighton at home, and then I have no money. So then it's a question of selling Timber or Raya.
But I just don't think that Semenyo is for 1 week. Like, you could wait till next week and do Saka,
It would be two.
Minter.
It would be two before going to Cunha. But obviously, he
2
could
game
get
weeks.
booked. He could get booked. So
If it was me, I'd roll and do the 3 transfers next week and go straight to Cunha.
Yeah, I'd say this is quite rollable as well.
so next week you would do Saka, Jimenez, and Minte to like Rice, Bowen, and Cunha.
But if Minta ends up doing something in this fixture, then it's like he's got some good fixtures
I
coming
can't
up.
get, but he's just dropping. Like it's just, but
Yeah.
yeah, because then he's got West Ham and Burnley. I could bench him against Arsenal for Mukiele, who's got Leeds. So if he scores this week, maybe I'll want to keep him. But yeah,
If he doesn't, then I think he is a sell, even with those nice fixtures coming up.
yeah. I mean, if I definitely want to do Jimenez to Bowen, so I need to find 1.3
Yeah,
million.
I see what you mean. Like, I do think it's worth finding a way to do that, to get rid of Raul.
Yeah, for sure for next week.
Yeah.
And then I need to find 1.3 million, so that's with 2 transfers. So
We own so many Fulham players between us.
Yeah, it's mad.
why? I mean, you could ask why. And we don't even own the best one. Well, we
We
don't.
own
Stephen
4.
does, but
Between us, we own... Stephen, do you have Anderson?
I don't.
Okay, so between us, we have 5 Fulham players.
What a world.
yeah, I'll have to go away and think about this a bit. But
Yeah.
I feel like you have time though, because I think you can roll this week and then just
Yeah, I'd
see the
roll.
state of affairs next week.
yeah,
I'd roll.
I suppose. Yeah, it's just I'll be annoyed if Semenyo smashes it and Saka. On paper it looks tricky for Saka, but
Yeah.
So are we all rolling?
Exciting stuff.
Oh, here
to
we
be honest,
go.
I probably won't. I rarely, if I'm between
An hour
on.
pod, an hour pod later, we're all rolling.
That's boring. But like, do you want to keep
lads.
Saka all Christmas, Harry? Is that your mindset?
Yeah. What am I spending the money on?
Hammer.
Yeah, but I
When he's
guess that
fit.
it's like, what could you, like for 10 million, and I don't know,
if you
Madueke
wanna-
gets minutes, or like we've already
if you
seen
wanna
him
tell
get
me-
benched though.
If you want to tell me what I'm going to spend that money on, then that's fine. But I've got nothing to spend it on. Ekitike.
I mean, I guess you could do like Anderson and Saka to Rice and Cunha or something.
But then I don't get to count DEFCON on Monday night, so
There's always that.
there's always that. Yeah, that's probably fair. Like, I could downgrade Saka and upgrade Anderson, and that probably is better. Yeah,
It's just
that
like
probably
we've
is, to be
seen him
fair.
get benched. I don't know. But anyway, well, let's do
Yeah.
the super chats.
Yeah, I think there was just one. Or was there more?
There was three
Start 2,
super
Van
chats.
Dijk.
3 super chats.
Start 2, Van Dijk, Minter, or Anderson. Well, you have to play both Andersons because they play Monday night against each other.
You're
But no,
playing
I definitely
Minte
play
over
Minter.
both the Anderson. Yeah, you're playing Minte
Yeah.
for sure.
Van Dijk Minta for me and bench both Andersons and they can scrap it out on the bench.
Yeah,
That Monday night when
we
they're
didn't tell
both
Harry
getting
to bench
DEFCON.
Van Dijk, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably Van Dijk and Minter. What were the other ones, Tom?
Thoughts on Kevin Schade? Now he's not suspended.
Fine, I just think Cunha's probably better. And they're similar price.
Yeah.
Oh no, Cunha's about 500,000 more now.
Just one player we didn't mention actually, Shirky. Do you think he's like any good? I think he's quite good.
Yeah, I just not sure how nailed he is definitely over Christmas.
Doku
Yeah.
gone. Doku injured.
I don't mind it as a third one, as a punt, but
If you
That's
don't own
about all it is.
Foden right this week, and you can get a Shirky for free or Foden for a hit, would you just buy a Shirky?
no, I'd buy Foden for a hit.
Yeah, I think I would too. just to get him into your team.
Yeah.
Cool. And then last super chat. Can't afford Semenyo with 1 free transfer. What about Tavernier as a 1 week punt?
If you've got lots of transfers, I don't mind it, but I'd also just look at the player you want long term and buy them instead.
Would you buy?
Yeah,
Would you punt Wilson instead of Tavernier or?
Yeah, I would probably.
Yeah, because I feel like you can't, like, he is a mix between, like, he's probably more of a short-term punt, but still you could hold on to Wilson for a little bit longer than you would want to hold on to Tavernier.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much for the support and the super chats.
And if you haven't already, please drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Would you sell Minter to Kevin Sharder? Question in the chat.
So
I'm
is
not
Brentford
sure
fixtures
Sharder
are
would be
nice?
my top priority.
You could do it next week. But
Yeah.
Brentford, I mean, Brentford have got Bournemouth, Spurs, and Everton. It's not that easy afterwards.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
Cool. This is our last stream until after Christmas. Next week is Christmas Eve, so we are not streaming. So it will be back the week after. Thank you guys very much. Thank you to everyone in the chat. I hope you have a lovely Christmas if you are celebrating. If you are not, hope you have a lovely couple of game weeks until we see you again. Enjoy it. Roll lots of transfers. Get lots of points.
DEFCON
everything else.
Counting. That's what you want under
DEFCON
the
counting
tree, isn't
on
it? 12 recoveries.
DEFCON counting on a
12
Monday
recoveries.
night. I'll be there on Boxing Day counting Bruno's DEFCON on that Friday. But to both of you, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Please do like and subscribe before you go, and we will catch you all in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, have a great
Cheers, guys.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.